plie, we initiate the energy for a basic, we go project, and we ask her to come towards us, but I open my chest, and she's gonna go sideways with my portion, but we create the concept of suspension. Suspension comes from, it's almost like the feeling of being surprised. We go opening together, and here we don't open our hand, we're just going to open her chest, and we can feel that I'm almost supporting her weight a little bit. And then the girls will keep the energy down with their shoulders, but we try not to make eye contact to isolate the shoulders, and we don't want to be too low. Bottom of the shoulder blade, breathe together, really fast, and release. And for the follows?
For the follows, so to receive the suspension, we just want to first think that we're going to receive in the chest. The legs will extend, but not to a maximum. And also, just within our normal body position, we can extend in the chest instead of thinking to respond with the shoulders or into the balls of the feet immediately. We try to resist and just with the chest first.
Yeah, and to differentiate, if you want to go into the foot, we need to activate and start turning the muscles in your arms. So this is my chest and my back. This is my arms where she's going into her tippy toe. So for now, for any of the suspension movement, it's my legs and my chest. So together from here, we go down, we transfer, and we create suspension. And then we can release the suspension to create other movement. So from here, once we're connected in this position, I can change the position of her head, and I release her, and she can initiate a little bit of head movement from there. For the follows?
So for the follows, we extend. As we transfer, he gives us the suspension. So now the space between our chest and chin is a little bit smaller. So when he tilts us to the right, my hips are going to go to the left, weight in the inside of my right foot instead of this way. My neck will relax to my right. As he releases, I transfer down to my left. I'm going to open, look a little bit to my right, and then just need to come to neutral as I transfer back.
Okay, and from here, we don't want to create extra energy for her to go away from us. We want to use the acceleration of my torso to release the suspension. If you feel like there is no energy coming here, it's probably because you're not really suspending here. This energy is flat, and if I rotate, she's just going to be on the spot. So suspension and drop, and she's naturally going to have a little bit of energy. If there's no head movement and movement happening, do not force this to happen with your hand. This happens more naturally with the hand here, and release. And if there's nothing, it's just the basics coming from here. For the leads, you can follow to come back with the basics, or you can stay to create more elasticity, and that's up to you. And then once from here, we have up and release, and we plie on the second cheek, and we go up immediately to create the second suspension. So when we create head movement, we'll go down, the energy we go up and suspend, and as we're suspending, do not open your hand because this creates a different energy for a combo. So we'll keep our hands closed as we suspend, and her chin will start tucking in towards her chest, and then I release this energy to create the head movement. So if we do this together, it becomes down, close, and then open. Follows?
So for the follows, we're here, we're in our plie. We receive the suspension, the same as before. Now when his palm starts to open, we're going to try to find this connection. I'm going to exhale and start to extend up instead of thinking back, and that way we can follow the direction of the head movement.
Alright, and then from here we're going to create the traveling head movement. So the energy is the same. We go plie on the second cheek, and as I'm extending, I extend my arm, but here, remember, I don't open my hand. I extend, my hand is closed, and as I'm traveling to create any, I release the suspension, and now she'll feel like she's falling into the movement rather than being driven into the movement. So we go together, up, and release, and we go from here. Okay, and from this side, one more time, release. And in this position, as she's coming around to the left, I change my hand position, I plie with her, I try to find the bottom of her elbow, and my weight is on my left, and I transfer into her with my hip, and she should feel this energy coming through, and it's a mirrored movement. And from here, when we make contact with the forearm, there is a certain type of tension here from arm, because I have energy going towards her, she's going to generate energy towards me. So then I can feel where she is. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to end up hitting her head, and this is not good. Alright, so we go into her, and then we release, and if when she is passing through the middle, I can control the suspension here, and I can actually recreate suspension here, and then dropping her. So from here we go transfer up and I can pause. And then when I release this energy to the left, she's gonna continue this energy and then I can follow to create whichever movement you want. So follows.
So for the follows, from here, we receive, suspension, rotation. Then as we transfer, receive the information to open. I'm gonna open my transfer and then maintain for the pivot here, here, so I can still see my partner. Now he's going to plie, so we plie, and we start to close and resume the circular. He extends, we extend, resuming circular with the head movement. When I feel the suspension, we hold, and we freeze, and then he releases to the left, and we resume circular. I feel here that the frame is now asking me to open to my right, so I pivot with my hips. Here we get the extension for the snake, and then we can follow through.
Good. And the energy of this movement is trying to be as soft and as natural and organic as possible. So we're not trying to create movement where we drive with both hands. We go here and control, and then we throw the movement, and you can see we're breathing through with suspension and releasing the suspension. Okay, I think